So we're doing section 7.4 from the Big Ideas Algebra 1 math textbook. This learning target, one simple learning target, was just solve equations using the zero product property, and we got to actually talk about what the zero product property is. So that's what we're going to be doing. Write that down if you want to. You can always hit that pause button. Let me go change the slide. Oh, no. There we go. So we're going to do several examples. Examples 1, 2, and 3 are really simple examples. There's think about it examples. 4, 5, and 6 are more similar to what you're going to see like homework or assessments. And really, our goal is to take a polynomial that's written as addition and turn it into one of these, because these are simple problems to solve. So looking at problems 1 and 2, right? Problem 1, I just want you to think about this. 10 times what gives you 0? What number could go there? And I hope right now you're yelling at your screen, 0! Right? 10 times 0 is 0. The only thing that you can multiply 10 by to get 0 as your answer is 0. Yay! Oh, I smudged his cheek. Sorry, dude. Alright. Here, what times negative 1,000 is 0? That was a moment for you to yell at your screen. 0. It's 0! Right? 0 times that is 0. Yeah. Cool. So now we're going to just algebra it up, and we're going to say, well, 5 times x is 0. What's x? That was that moment again for you to yell at your screen. 0! Right? X has to be 0. So the only thing I can multiply 5 by to get 0 as my answer is 0. So here we say x equals 0. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to use this idea that if I have multiplication equal to 0, one of those things that's being multiplied has to be 0. Either the second thing being multiplied or the first thing being multiplied, one of them has to be 0. What if there's a possibility that each of them could be 0? Well, that'd be wonderful. Then we get 2 answers. So let's look at this. Problem 4. X times x plus 3 equals 0. We have multiplication equal to 0. So what we do is say, oh, well, if x is 0, we'd have 0 times 3, and that's 0. So one answer is just simply x equals 0. Now we look at this, we're like, well, what if that's 0? I don't know. Let's just take it and say, what if x plus 3 equals 0? So just take whatever's inside that parentheses, whatever's being multiplied from those parentheses, group it, and anything next to parentheses, or variable or number next to parentheses is implied multiplication. So this is the thing getting multiplied. Well, if that's 0, then that would mean x plus 3 equals 0, which means, do a little algebra, x is negative 3. We throw a little word or in between, and that's our answer. So x is 0 or x is negative 3. Those are our two possibilities to find, well, when this product would be 0. Because we'd get 0 times 3, because 0 plus 3 is 3, or we'd get negative 3 times. If I add negative 3 and 3, I get 0, so negative 3 and 0 is 0. Multiply. There you go. Cool. Next one. Here I have binomial times binomial equals 0. Once again, multiplication equals 0. I say, what would make this 0? Well, just solve this simple equation and get x equals negative 5. That's one answer. Don't circle it yet. There we go. Or we got this other thing being multiplied. X minus 1 equals 0. We just add 1 to each side to solve that little equation. So here, x is either negative 5 or it's positive 1. Those are our two answers there. You'll notice in these examples, the answer was just the opposite of whatever was happening to x, right? X plus 5, it's negative 5. X minus 1, it's positive 1. Well, don't get too comfortable with this, because sometimes there are like actual linear combinations, like a 2x minus 3 times a 7x plus 1. It's good to get in the habit of just writing out that simple equation. Sometimes you'll have a quadratic here, or a more complicated problem. Then you'll have to actually do some work for. So remember, it's not just like, oh, it's the opposite. Well, it is in these cases. But you want to actually like think about what you're doing. You're saying, hey, we have multiplication equal to 0. The only way to answer that is when each thing being multiplied could be 0. So either 2x minus 3 is 0, or 7x plus 1 equals 0. We're going to solve each of those. We're going to solve the same way we always solve in algebra, just working backwards for a linear equation. So here it's 2x minus 3. We're multiplying by 2, subtracting 3. We're going to undo the last thing. Add that 3 over 2x equals 3. It's 2 times x. We do the opposite. Divide by 2. And we can just leave our answer in fraction form. I mean, you could say 1.5 if you want, because 1.5 is a nice number. It stops at 1.5 and then nothing else afterwards. So you could say that, but say 3 over 2. Or here we got 7x plus 1 equals 0. So we just get rid of that plus 1 by going minus 1. So we want to get this 7x all by itself. Like 7x equals negative 1. Well, that's 7 times x. So I divide by 7. Doot, doot. And I get x equals negative 1 over 7. And we leave that as a fraction because that's a not so fun decimal to write out. It just keeps going. And that's it. That is the zero product property. It is a very, very simple but very powerful idea that if you have two things multiplied equal to 0, you just take, or if you have more than two things, if I had like 5 things multiplied equals 0, you just take each thing that's being multiplied, set it equal to 0, and you'll get that many answers. So, once again, comment below if you have questions, and yeah, have a great day.